Hi. So in the last video, we sort of uh, give it a false animation of what will happen on the UI when we click Sectum Zebra. And right now, I want to finish this function, and let's see how do we do that. Okay. So I actually want to execute the callback first and running all the calculations and checking. And after all the checking is done, I will then re-enable our controls and also allow, also telling our function that the Harry Potter is a casting spell to be false. All right, so okay, in here, and only if our Harry Potter is sort of doing the attacking here, I will be, after this is done, I will be checking. I will be checking. So remember to put this inside the callback. Don't put it here because it's a synchronous function here. And we put whatever we write in here will be executed after all the code behind this is finished. And then they will pushed from queue to stack. So I remember to write here, and we will then do some check wing. All right. And in here, let's write the method check wing. Don't need to pass in any parameters. I will check. So if our opponent with the most health is smaller or equals to 0, we should sort of output things like, wow, you win, would you like to do another game? So to do that, we can say if, okay, yeah, we can set this parameter to false. But we don't want to do that immediately, actually. We want to check with our user first. So, okay, confirm with name. Congratulations, maybe just you won. Start. If this is true, then we will be restart the game. So this start game. Else we will just say okay, cool. We put in the game is running here because I want to check confirm first, because this property is binding with our UI screen, if you remember. So if we immediately stop the, change this parameter when we win, we won't be, having the checking and the confirming screen where we can also check the logs before starting over. All right. Let me think. So now let's think what else should we change inside our start game. So we need to reset some of the parameters when applicable, right? So the first thing I would like to check is, okay, this two value. So let's paste it right here. I think this should be equal, and this should be 100, and this here should be this. Great. And so this will automatically being switched back in our function, I assume. For now. Great. And let's check. And by change this to sort of 30 health for now. So 1. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, we did not go back from our callback, I guess. Okay. Oh, no. I think this is the issue. Okay, great. Now let's start over. Okay, you want start new game. If okay, then we start a new game. If no, then we will go back to the starting page here. Great. Let's check. Okay, start over, start attacking. Great. It looks okay now, but later we will refactor because you can see the Voldemort is not automatically attacking us right now. If we start over, all right, that's just something we need to figure out later. So now let me check for Protego and Expecto Patronums. So in here, because these two are defensive sort of function, we do not need to check wing after we sort of implement the cast function. So let me just find it. Okay, so button here should be, this is called Protego, so cast Protego. Let's do this one by one, do not just be safe. Great. So in here we will do something similar in here, so I'm just going to paste it here. So I want to access the Protego function. Protego equals to true, Protego equals to false. One of my health stays the same. This let's change back to 10. And check wing not necessary. Great. And I want this property to be bind with our spell style. So let's give that. Div container. Okay, I find the place to implement that, and I give it dot, and I push in the Protego equals to same thing here, Harry spells Protego. Great. And yeah, I think let's test it. Great, I think it works. And then now let's move on to our expecto as well. So I find the button for expecto, and we give it a class cast expecto patronum. Great. So all right, we'll push this inside here. this part that are same. Right. Now let's update our container. Spell expecto patronum. Find our container for our spells. So dot patronum should be equals to Harry spells. Okay. Expecto patronum. Okay, great. Let's test it. Great. It works. Now I just need to do the same thing for the Sectum Zebra and passing the animation here. Okay, did I save? Yes. Great. It works. So okay, I see that there's we are supposed to log this damage to our screen here. So let's do that as well. We're almost done for the styling for our attacks and spells. And okay, in here I will push in a new property and I will call it logs, and this should be an empty array. And in our index, instead of binding this list like this, we should manually bind it with our log. So list value v4 and okay, for log in logs, we output the log dot text. Okay, and in here, right, upon successfully, where is our Sectum Zebra? Okay, upon successfully damage our opponent, we will log it. So this dot logs should unshift a new value inside of the array. Well, in JavaScript, an array under the hood is a hash map, an object. So we can do unshift to the array. In case you don't know, it's something I recently learned. Okay, shift object, and it should be having two properties. So is Harry should be true, and text should be Harry dot 10 damages to what more true. Okay, let me just do that. Sectum Zebra. Okay, so after the log is there, we can declare a new style called logs.css and put that inside of list. Great. In logs, I want to check. So I want to check if our is or log. So here, and I want to bind a class to this value, and I want to say object and say Harry log. should be equals to true or false. Depends on our log dot is Harry. And I want to do the same for word mod. Word mod log should be log is Harry if it's false. Okay. It looks okay, I guess. So then in here we can implement the thing. I want this to have a color of blue. I want to have word mod log a color of red. Okay, let's test it. Okay, it looks okay. I don't like the blue. I want it to be sky blue, so it's easier on the eyes. Great, it looks fantastic. So yeah, I probably okay. Let's just finish the deal. Yeah. Like I figured, we need to actually empty the log in our start game as well, and our div container does not take care of the situation of overflow. Let's wrap this video up by implement this two feature. So first issue would be taking care of the log. So whenever we find new things, we just put in the log. Should be empty array. Okay, that's the first issue. The second issue is overflow. So we find the initial UI logs here, and we say overflow hidden. Great. So now if we redo this part real quick, I think the problem should go away. Okay. Great. Well, yeah, that covers the things I want to cover in this video. In next video, we'll be starting to handle the other side. What happens when modern mod is automatically attacking us? So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.